tournament of power begun. Unfortunately, Beerus' team wasn't up to par, and Universe 7 was eliminated, and now Goku's job is to bring that universe back as well as all the other ones. How will the tournament actually end up? We'll be covering all that and more in this 8th part of What If Vegeta Stayed Evil. Goku powers up to his maximum, using Blue Kaioken. He's already seen what Jiren's power's like, so he's not going to hold anything back now. The two begin their battle. In terms of where Goku stands, I feel like he'd just be relative to where he was at this point in the story normally. He's been consistently training, he got a little bit of different training from Vados as well, and even though the Zamasu stuff didn't happen for him to grow even further from, I feel like he's been doing more than enough to keep up. But let's say he's around the same level. And as great as that is, obviously that's not really going to do much against Jiren. Thankfully, Goku's not fighting alone here. At first he was, and he even tries to use the Spirit Bomb against Jiren, following into it and causing him to go Ultra Instinct. This really does help him at first, but Jiren showcases more power and is about to defeat him, nearly knocking Goku out of the ring, but somebody catches him. It's hit. Goku's about to drop out of Ultra Instinct because of a lack of power, but Gohan then comes along too, lending some energy to Goku. They have already lost some fighters. Vegeta's gone, and so is Caulifla Kale and Cabba. Krillin's probably knocked out of the ring at this point too. Right now it's just Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Hit, and Frost, who's just doing his own thing. Hit tells Goku that if they team up together, they might actually be able to take down Jiren, but he needs to tap into that same power again. Thankfully, he didn't take too bad of a beating from Jiren and he could jump back into the fight right away, and briefly, he does reactivate Ultra Instinct Omen. Hit's plan is to trap Jiren in a time cage, and when that happens, Goku needs to use all of his power to knock Jiren out. So the two of them spend some time fighting together, and then Hit activates this trump card. He uses all of his focus and energy to keep Jiren in place. But at the very last second, Jiren's able to break free from it. Goku keeps trying to fight him, but now Jiren's using more power. And even with Ultra Instinct, it's not going to be enough. Showing about half his full power, Jiren knocks out Goku and Hit simultaneously, with ease. Universe 6 only has 3 fighters left now: Gohan, Piccolo, and Frost. While that fight between Goku, Hit, and Jiren was going on, Piccolo and Gohan were actually taking on the rest of the Pride Troopers, getting rid of Toppo and Dispo, which is pretty good. Gohan is a bit concerned because it's just the 3 of them left, but they haven't lost their strongest fighter yet. They've actually been waiting for this. The only reason they kept it a secret for this long is because of Universe 7 being there. They thought Universe 7 would have stronger fighters, and to be fair, they didn't expect Broly to be there. Same for Granola, but there's no reason to hide this anymore. So you might have been wondering from the last part, why didn't they have the rest of the Universe 6 Namekians join the team? Why'd they get someone like Vegeta, or even Frost for that matter? Same for Krillin. I mean, either 3 of them could be replaced easily. The thing is, the Universe 6 Namekians are here. The next person to try and face Jiren is Piccolo. He doesn't really suspect much of Piccolo, but Piccolo begins to power up. He's trained under Vados, of course, and he's had his potential unlocked on Universe 6's Namek. Not to mention he fused with Kami, but also every other Universe 6 Namekian. He goes into his power awakened state. An immense amount of ki fills the arena. This is the last resort for them. They only did this because they wanted some sort of trump card to guarantee the victory. Now with Goku and Hit out of the ring, Piccolo has to step up. They had all of Namek merged together, and then eventually merge into Piccolo, who was the strongest Namekian in Universe 6 at that point. It was kind of a gamble, but at the same time, Piccolo's already recreated a set of Dragon Balls on Earth. They're going to reverse this after the fact. But while they have it, Piccolo does want to enjoy this fight. He vanishes from sight and appears behind Jiren, catching him off guard with an attack. And Jiren can't believe it. Belmont's watching on surprise too. That must have been a fluke. There's no way he actually caught Jiren off guard like that. He'd have to be faster and more powerful than Jiren here. And sure, Jiren's holding back, but even at that point, he's stronger than everyone here. Not exactly. In Piccolo's power awakened state, he's actually far beyond Jiren right now. The two briefly battle, and Jiren realizes he's completely outmatched. So, he decides to go into his full power reluctantly, thinking that maybe this will let him beat Piccolo, but no, Piccolo still got some more power locked away. Vados and Goku have seen it before. And Vados was really surprised to see Goku pull off Ultra Instinct. Whis was too. Even though Universe 7 was erased, as an angel, he's still obviously there, and he's impressed. He was hoping Goku would get that eventually, but didn't expect that to happen under his sister. But now he watches on curiously. He never did pay much attention to Piccolo. So Vados explains, even before merging with the entirety of Namek, he was pretty powerful, getting his power awakened, and then Goku butts in, saying he's gone even beyond that. Now, they've only seen the Piccolo use that power individually and not with all the other Namekians. When he used that power individually, he still was pretty strong, but this is going to be a completely different level now that he has the entirety of Namek merged with him. So Piccolo transforms once more, showing off his orange form. And with this, he's able to beat Jiren, knocking him out of the ring. There still are some other people in the ring too. Frost is actually one of the people still remaining, and they're worried that he might be able to get MVP because he did get a few eliminations. So Piccolo decides he's going to make really quick work of everyone else here, using his full power, knocking out as many people as possible, racking up a bunch more eliminations, taking out over a dozen people in a few seconds. Gohan did have his own fights going on, but he didn't knock anyone out of the ring, just so Piccolo could actually do that. So, the tournament ends. Universe 6 wins, and the only people left in the ring are Gohan, Piccolo, and Frost. Frost was hoping to get the Super Dragon Balls for himself, of course. Champa thought it was a pretty big risk to have him on the team in the first place, but didn't think he'd actually get that far. He was playing it pretty smart, though. and without Frieza to antagonize him, he was level-headed as well. But Piccolo ends up becoming the MVP here, and he makes the same wish that Goku was going to make. He restores all the other universes erased by Zeno, which of course Zeno likes. That's what he wanted. Their main goal was to restore Universe 7, but why not restore everybody else in the process? That makes way more sense. So this is good. They got through the Tournament of Power, they got to break their limits, and they got to restore all the other universes. But still, that does raise one issue. They wanted to use the Super Dragon Balls to bring Earth back to Universe 7, and now they're going to have to wait another year. Honestly, Champa was a bit worried that they were going to wish for that, but then Vados reminds him that wouldn't make sense because Universe 7 was already erased. They couldn't have wished for that even if they wanted. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So it's not like that wish was something they would have even considered, at least during the tournament. They still want to go back to Universe 7. With all the universes restored, Beerus and Whis are back on their planet, and Beerus lets out a sigh of relief, glad that Goku actually won the tournament. But Whis lets him know that it wasn't Goku. Well, Goku actually did something interesting, unlocking Ultra Instinct. Beerus' jaw drops at hearing this, but Whis says there's more. There's someone stronger than him in that universe, Piccolo. Although it's probably temporary because, from the looks of it, they were going to reverse that right after the tournament. But once Earth is back in Universe 7, Beerus might have another strong rival, and it makes Beerus regret not being more persuasive to the Namekians. Shin did try to recruit them, but if Beerus were there, he could have been way more intimidating and gotten them to join. But it doesn't really matter, because even though they lost, they still came back here. And you know what? Beerus is starting to lose interest in Vegeta. He only took Vegeta on as a student under Whis reluctantly because, well, he was the strongest person at the time. But now that he knows about Broly and Granola, why not just have them as rivals in the meantime? It doesn't make sense to keep training Vegeta. So, he's banished from Beerus' planet, which really takes him by surprise because he didn't think Beerus would just let him go that easily. He wants to stay there and train and grow a lot stronger, but he kind of expected this at some point. Although, it really annoys him that Beerus took Broly from him too, because Broly would have been a great asset for his army. By extension, Paragus also went too because Broly said they were a package deal. Not to mention, Broly and Paragus didn't really want to work under Vegeta anyways, so they instantly agreed to going to Beerus' planet. And yeah, Beerus knows that Paragus is kind of an ass and not a good guy, but still, better than Vegeta being here. And ironically, they even bond with Granola a bit because they equally hate the Saiyans, particularly Vegeta. Although Broly did see some other Saiyans in the tournament, and they didn't seem too bad, including some that were originally from Universe 7, Goku and Gohan. But now, Vegeta's left to his own devices. Really pissed off, in fact. He needs a new method to grow stronger, because even with Super Saiyan Blue, he's still behind. Goku was able to surpass him. He embarrassed him no less. But the time for Kakarot's death will come eventually. Let's go back to Universe 6. Piccolo's gonna go collect the Dragon Balls on Earth in order to restore everyone on Namek. Thankfully, the upgraded Shenron grants 3 wishes too, but he doesn't have anything else in mind at the moment. Although, he and Goku are wondering, even though they have to wait a year for the Super Dragon Balls to come back, is there another strong set of Dragon Balls in this universe that could send them back to Universe 7? It's a long shot, so probably not. For the time being, Goku goes back to Sadala. And this time there's someone there that's not typically there. It's Hit. Cabba, Caulifla, and Kale are watching. Cabba actually got in contact with Hit because Goku wanted to fight him again. And this is a really nice surprise for Goku. They say to consider it thanks for training them, and Hit agreed to it because, well, without the help of Universe 7's warriors, they wouldn't have been able to win here fully. Hit's not going to hold anything back though, and killing isn't off the table. Cabba has 2 Senzu beans with him just in case. So the 2 of them go all out. And this is a really fun fight for Goku because he never got to see Hit fight this seriously. Even during the Tournament of Power, he technically was still holding back a bit because he couldn't kill people, and even though that wouldn't have done anything against Jiren, still, he didn't get to see Hit's full strength. Although now, Goku has grown a ton after the tournament, and he tries to tap into Ultra Instinct again, but he can't really do it on command. He was surprised he pulled it off the second time during that tournament, and Hit was hoping to see it once more, but Goku doesn't even really need it. With Blue Kaioken, he's able to overpower Hit completely, beating him in this matchup. And while they're all together, they decide to ask Goku about Vegeta. They've heard about him before, but that tournament was the first time they saw him. Vegeta even did briefly show interest in the Universe 6 Saiyans, but that was when he was already eliminated. He had tunnel vision for defeating Kakarot right off the bat, so he didn't even acknowledge them right away. And they ask Goku, why hasn't he defeated Vegeta? Well, he and Gohan did defeat him before. He's immortal, so they can't kill him, but they sealed him away. He escaped somehow. And they wanted to find something more permanent, but there was never really anything that could do it. Theoretically, the Super Dragon Ball should be able to, but of course, their main priority is getting back to Universe 7, so the wish to remove Vegeta's immortality isn't as important just now. As far as Goku knows, no other set of Dragon Balls could actually do that. Well, either wish for that matter. But then it hits Goku. Wait a second. Telepathically, he communicates with Piccolo, asking if he's made the wish yet, and Piccolo says he only got 6 Dragon Balls so far. Goku's glad he caught him in time. He tells him to not make the wish. Goku then says goodbye to everyone, and not like a normal goodbye, but a goodbye like this might be the last time they see him in a while. He thanks them for everything. It was really fun coming here to Sadala. And he tells Cabba to say hi to the king for him, and Goku immediately goes back to Earth. Goku tells Piccolo what he's thinking of. Right now, even though it's temporary, Piccolo is still hugely powerful. And with all the Namekians merged within him, that means Shenron must be incredibly strong. And this didn't even occur to Piccolo. That type of power should be enough to actually send Earth back to Universe 7. But even more than that, he's stronger than Vegeta at the moment, which means Shenron's stronger than Vegeta, and that wish can affect him. He's not sure if a wish like that would work across universes, but Piccolo's strength might be more than enough to actually do that. Even if it doesn't work, it's at least worth a shot. So they summon Shenron. The first wish, they ask Shenron to remove Vegeta's immortality. Shenron hesitates for a second and then says, the wish has been granted. They can't believe what they're hearing. That actually worked? So Piccolo makes a second wish. He asks for Earth and its inhabitants to be transported back to Universe 7. Shenron says that's another simple wish to make. And to their surprise, Earth is brought back to its original universe. It's a great thing Goku thought of that because now they just killed 2 birds with 1 stone. And now the final wish, Piccolo asks for his fusion to be reversed. Well, besides Kami and Nail. And Shenron grants the wish. All the Namekians and Piccolo are unfused from him and sent back to Universe 6. Of course, this immediately affects Shenron as well, and he starts glowing, then getting much weaker to compare to Piccolo's regular power. Shenron lets Piccolo know this, but he expected that to happen anyways. And then Shenron bids them farewell. Just like that, they got everything they wanted, and it's not like Piccolo had to keep the Namekians merged with them. That means now they could actually do it. They could fight Vegeta and finally kill him. They don't need to use any weird methods to work around his immortality or anything. Hopefully he doesn't realize it just yet. Right now, about a week has passed after the tournament in Power. Thankfully, Vegeta did have one more spot to train in. A place where time flows differently. The same place Frieza actually trained to become Black Frieza. So Vegeta immediately went there, and he got to work. So we don't know how time flows in the one that Frieza used, but let's assume it works like the regular time chamber on Earth. Even though Vegeta only had 5 or 6 days there, that would be 5 or 6 years of training constantly. And thanks to his immortality, he pushed himself to the limits. And it's not like he'd aged from this either. Not that it's really a concern for him as a Saiyan just yet. But now he's thinking ahead. Maybe he could use this room even further. He could use it endlessly, thanks to him being immortal. It's not like he'll die from old age or anything. But after exiting the time chamber, he feels a bit different. This is the time that Earth just got back, and the wish was made to reverse his immortality. The only reason he left the time chamber at this point is because he got an alert from his army. Someone's trying to attack them. Great. Another threat he has to handle, but he doesn't mind. He likes fighting after all. Moro has escaped the Galactic Patrol prison, and while flying to Namek, Vegeta's army found him out in space, which started a huge battle, so before he even got to Namek, he had to take them on first. But Vegeta arrives and then he just takes out Moro himself. Moro tries to steal some power from Vegeta, but Vegeta has no time to play games, and especially because he doesn't know what this guy's magic is capable of, he doesn't want to waste time trying to work around that. Physically, Moro's weak, and Vegeta doesn't care for those cowardly tactics he's using. So he kills Moro pretty quickly, although in that fight he did get injured a little bit. It wasn't anything major, like just a cut on his arm. He doesn't really pay it any mind, because by now he's been so used to pain that he doesn't even really feel it. But it doesn't heal. He looks down on it a few hours later. The cut is still there for some reason. Again, not too big of a concern for him. He thinks that he must have grown so strong by this point that his immortality doesn't even see that as a threat anymore. I mean, it's just a small cut. Before that would be adjusted right away. But maybe he's just adapted too much, and he simply laughs it off, not realizing that it's actually a sign of something far worse. And with that, we'll leave off here for now. What'd you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel, and it shows me you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.